beautiful day on tap. Snow. It was cloudy yesterday, and it is when it snows outside. You know what it's like. But now we have a beautiful sunny day on the horizon. Have a blessed day, everybody. I'm just looking at the little birdies out here. It's cold outside. It's funny how God made the animals who are able to be outside and to withstand the cold and the weather, and it seems like it never bothers them. And it don't, because that's how God made them. He made them to be able to tolerate the storm, tolerate the weather, because it's what He had put on the inside of them. How He has put some sort of, I don't know how to explain it, but some sort of insulation to protect them from the cold, from the weather, to be able to hang on to branches while it's storming, and they're just hanging on as the winds is just moving them all around, but yet they still holding on. And God made us the same way. He may not have made us to be able to withstand the weather, the natural elements outside of cold weather, storms, and all these kind of things without having a protective layer, something to protect us from, the things that are going on outside. These animals, I understand some animals are not able to be outside, to live out. Cats and dogs, they need to be inside. But there are certain animals that the Lord has placed a way of being able to withstand the things that comes their way. And God has given us, human beings. He has given us these same things as well. But the only thing that humans, need to do is to be able to find those things out and to dig deep within ourselves, to be able to understand that God has given us so much strength and power to tolerate the storms, to tolerate the elements of life that comes our way, the hard things, the things that seem to get us off kilter, the things that seem to knock us off, our course. God has given us the power that is deep down on the inside of us to be able to withstand many, many things, many, many trials and tribulations. And these are things that we have to understand, that it's already on the inside of us, to help us to get through every storm, to help us to get through every trial and tribulation that's going in through our lives. And we just got to look deep down on the inside of us, that God said in His word that He has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind, that He said to look to Him, that He is our shield, that He is our buckler, and that He is our strong tower. He is an ever-present help in a time of trouble, through storms. And we need, we're not made like the birds in this sense, because this is their element, but our element is to understand that deep down on the inside of us, that we are equipped to withstand things that come our way. And the number one thing and the number one key is to get to know who God is, because He is the one who's going to ultimately sustain us. He is the one who's going to ultimately keep us, and He has given us keys. He has given us keys to be able to withstand. And the way to understand what those keys are is to draw close unto God. He said, draw close unto me, and I will draw close unto you. And He will begin to guide us when we receive His help, then we can be able to withstand every storm. Look at these birds out here. They're just having a good old time, just hanging around. You see the bush, whatever that is, that brings forth so much beautiful flowers during spring and summer. This tree is so beautiful when the flowers begin to blossom and to bloom. And they're just still out there. There's still something that the birds can, nesting. They could still go and hang on to the branches, So no matter what life looks like in this season for you, you see how there's no leaves, there's no flowers. Sometimes our lives feel like it's barren. Sometimes it feel like it's not producing anything. But then in the next season, we begin to see the flowers, and we begin to see, life come back into, what looked like it was dead. you know we got to receive that for our lives, that because we're not producing things in this season, in this hour, in this time right now. There's a season, there's a time for all things. That's what the Bible tells us in the book of Ecclesiastes, that there's a time for all things. So when we, and even for rest, we got to be mindful that we need to rest. There's a time to put down things, and there's a time to pick up things. God has given us a day that we need to tend to ourselves. I'm not a 7-day Adventist or anything, and I'm not, if that's what you are, I'm not, trying to, if that's your faith, that's your faith. But, God has given us, or has made a way for us to be mindful, that our bodies need rest. And he said to keep the Sabbath day, to make the Sabbath day holy. That is a day from Friday night to Saturday night. And this is what I go by. This is what I abide in, because this is a command of the Lord that he has said in his word, to keep the Sabbath day holy. And that is a day of rest. And that is the day to keep him first and foremost in our hearts and our minds. And so this is what I do. And I don't, if you don't, I do it because there is a command in the Word of God. It's not pertaining to a particular faith, a particular religion, but it is just a standard command that God has put in his Word to keep the Sabbath day holy. And it's for us. He said in his Word that he didn't make Sabbath for, the Sabbath was not made for man, but man was not made for the Sabbath, but Sabbath was made for man. And it was for us to actually put down everything. Oh, did you see that bird? He came right up here. But the Sabbath was made for man. And it was just some minds. Sometimes if we don't sit down things, we'll keep moving and moving and moving and moving, going and going and going. And then we wonder why we can't do stuff. We don't understand that we need to shut our natural bodies down to get some rest. We can't keep moving all the time. No matter how super we are, we got to be able to shut things down sometimes and get some rest. And this is what God is concerned about. This is what he's concerned about. And it's also a day to remember, or to draw close into him, to keep him first, and to draw close unto God. And just, let this be a day of rest and a day of worship unto him. Now, this is what I practice. This is not from a particular faith. This is only out of the Word of God that tells us, to keep the Sabbath day holy. So I don't know. I jumped over there, guys. I didn't mean to jump so far over there. But yeah, we got to remember that, God has set things in order. He set seasons. He set times in order. And he gave each of us a way to handle our circumstances around us. So I will leave off there, guys. I don't know how much snow we had. I haven't looked at the news, but all I know is I was out there shoveling. I shoveled 2 times yesterday. And it's a beautiful day today. And I don't know. I guess maybe we got somewhere between 5 to 6. I don't know. I don't want to say 5 to 6. Maybe 5. Yeah, maybe 5 to 6 inches of snow, I guess, maybe. Maybe a little bit more. Because it was a lot. It was a lot we had to shovel out yesterday. No problem. When we're used to doing things, when we're used to how the season rolls around, we are always equipped to handle the seasons, just like when we buy our shovels and buy our salt and things, to prepare for the season ahead. This is how we need to prepare ourselves for our natural lives. Whatever is lying before us, whatever is coming before us, whatever God is preparing us for, we need to equip ourselves for whatever it is. All right, guys, let me get off of here. My daughter's standing over here. Look, Mom, am I going to eat? Can we get breakfast started? It's like 8:45 in the morning, so I'm going to get breakfast started, guys. Have a blessed day. Enjoy your rest, and just enjoy whatever's going on around you. Try to find the peace and the goodness in it. And if it's that you know bad where you just can't, just think on the Lord, just think on God, and just ask Him to give you direction for your life. He is our peace. All right, guys, be blessed.